and the 7 little goats. Once upon a time, there lived a mother goat and her 7 young goats in a forest. One day, the mother goat gathered the young goats together and said, "Children, I have to visit Grandma Cow in the village nearby. Will you take good care of the house while I'm gone?"
"Yes, we'll be fine. Don't worry."
But the mother goat was still worried. She said to the young goats, "You must not open the door, especially if a wolf is knocking."
"How will we know it's a wolf?"
You know my voice, right? Listen carefully and don't open the door unless you hear your mother's soft voice.
What if the voice sounds the same?
My arms are wide, right? Look through the crack in the door and don't open it unless you see your mother's white arm.
Yes, Mom!
The mother goat left the 7 young goats at home and went to the next village. As she disappeared, a large wolf appeared from the shade of the tree.
The mother goat is gone. That means only the 7 young goats are home.
The wolf went to the house and knocked on the door.
Who's there?
It's your mother! I forgot something. Please open the door.
It's Mom! She's back!
The oldest goat went to open the door, but the youngest goat said,
"Wait! That doesn't sound like our mother's voice. Mother's voice is soft and beautiful, but that voice is too deep."
The youngest goat shouted through the door,
"You must be a wolf! Don't even think about coming into our house!"
Ah, the young goats are smart.
The wolf tried to think how he could sound like the mother goat. Suddenly, he came across some grapevines and had an idea.
My voice will be softer if I eat grapes like this.
The wolf ate all the grapes and tried to speak in a softer voice.
A-I-O-U! Oh, that's the voice of the mother goat!
The wolf went back to the goat's house.
Who's there?
It's your mother. Grandma Cow gave me some delicious food. Please open the door.
That's our mother's voice this time!
The oldest goat went to open the door, but the youngest goat spoke again.
Wait! Let's look through the crack in the door and make sure we see Mother's white arm.
The youngest goat looked through the crack in the door and saw an arm covered with black fur. The youngest goat shouted through the door,
"You must be a wolf! Our mother's fur is soft and white! Don't even think about coming into our house!"
This time it's because of my fur!
The wolf tried to think how he could make his fur look white like the mother goat. Suddenly, he came across some bags of flour in a shed and had an idea.
Oh, I'll have white fur like the mother goat if I put that flour on my hands.
The wolf went into the shed and covered his arms in flour. His arms quickly turned white.
Now I have white fur just like the mother goat.
The wolf went back to the goat's house.
It's really your mother this time. My voice is soft. A-I-O-U. And my arms are white. Look!
The young goats saw the white arm and thought their mother had finally returned home.
It really is my mother! We can hear her soft voice and see her white arm!
The young goats opened the door wide. But the wolf was standing there with his huge mouth open.
I'm a wolf! I'm going to catch and eat you all!
The young goats ran. and hid as soon as the wolf attacked. The oldest goat hid under the bed.
I found one hiding under the bed.
The wolf swallowed the oldest goat hiding under the bed. The second goat hid in the closet, the third in the stove, the fourth behind the curtains, the fifth in a pot, and the sixth in the cellar. But the wolf found and gulped them all down. The youngest goat hid inside the large grandfather clock against the wall.
Shouldn't there be one more?
The wolf looked around the house, but couldn't find the youngest goat.
That must be all of them. My stomach is so full from eating the young goats. I always get sleepy when I'm full. I should go and take a nap by the stream.
The wolf walked out of the house after eating the 6 young goats and disappeared. The mother goat returned home in the afternoon. She found the door wide open and the house a mess. She looked all over, but couldn't find any of the young goats. Children, where are you? What happened to them? My precious babies are gone! The youngest goat, hiding in the clock, decided to show his face. Oh, my dear baby! The mother goat hugged her youngest goat tightly. The youngest goat told her that the wolf came and ate all of the other goats.
The wolf ate grapes to make his voice sound like yours. And he put flour on his arms to make them look white like yours. He tricked us!
I see. Where did the wolf go?
He said he was going to take a nap by the stream.
The mother goat took the youngest goat and walked to the stream. She saw the wolf with a belly the size of a mountain sleeping soundly.
The baby goats. Ooh, delicious.
The mother goat knew that the young goats were inside the wolf's large belly. My baby, could you go back home and bring me a needle, scissors, and thread?
Yes, Mom!
The youngest goat brought the mother goat a needle, scissors, and thread. The mother goat crept up to the wolf and cut his belly open with scissors. The 6 young goats came flying out of the wolf's belly, one after another.
Mother!
Shh, be quiet. We don't want to wake up the wolf. We have to work together. Children, get some rocks from the stream and bring them to me, okay? Hurry, hurry! The 7 young goats listened to their mother and gathered rocks from the stream. The mother goat placed the rocks in the wolf's belly and sewed it up with the needle and thread. The wolf's belly looked like a mountain once again. All right, let's go back home. The wolf woke up after the goats left.
What a great nap. I'm thirsty. Should I drink some water from the stream?
The wolf waddled over to the stream. The rocks moved around and made sounds in his belly. But the wolf didn't notice.
Why does my body feel so heavy? Maybe I'm just imagining it.
The wolf thought it was because he ate so many young goats. He felt even more thirsty once he saw the stream. He lowered his head to drink. But the rocks in his belly began to move all at once, and he stumbled. The wolf fell into the water. The wolf tried to swim to the top, but the rocks in his belly weighed him down.
Somebody save me!
In the end, the wolf sank to the bottom of the stream. Meanwhile, the mother goat was talking to the young goats at home. Children, make sure you never open the door to a stranger again. Understand?
Yes, Mom!
The young goats never opened the door to a stranger ever again when their mother was away. Snow White. Once upon a time, there lived a king and a queen in a kingdom. They didn't have any children. The queen prayed for a beautiful baby. Soon, a pretty princess was born, as if that prayer reached the sky.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. How can she be so white and cute like snow? I think we should call her Snow White.
Snow White grew up quickly. Snow White was beautiful and kind-hearted. One day, the queen fell ill. She tried all kinds of medicine, but the queen eventually passed away. No one was sadder than Snow White.
Mother, you can't leave me behind.
As time went by, the king met a new queen. In fact, the new queen was a witch. The queen had a talking magic mirror. The queen asked the mirror how beautiful she was every day. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Snow White is the fairest, my queen.
What? Didn't you say it was me up until yesterday?
It is Snow White now.
Snow White is the fairest of them all? Well, we'll just have to get rid of her then. The angry queen called a hunter.
You called my queen.
Take Snow White to the forest and get rid of her.
Pardon? You want me to get rid of that beautiful, kind person?
Do as you're told. Otherwise, I'll use magic to turn you into a beetle. The hunter reluctantly decided to follow orders. The hunter took Snow White into the deep forest, saying he would show her the animals living there.
The fresh smell of grass. Cute, dear. Come over here. I'll pet you.
Oh, I can't do this to that kind-hearted princess.
The hunter, who couldn't get rid of the kind-hearted Snow White, said to her,
The queen ordered me to get rid of you, princess. I'm sorry. But I just can't do it. Run away as far as you can. You must never return to the castle.
Snow White ran like crazy through the thick forest. After running for a long time, a small cabin appeared.
Oh my! Who knew there's such a small house in the forest? Hello? Anyone here? Oh my! The furniture is so small. The spoons, plates, and chairs are like toys.
The empty cabin was home to the dwarves that worked in the gold mine. There were 7 spoons, 7 plates, and 7 chairs in the house.
There's some bread. Oh, I am hungry. Shall I take a little?
Snow White was very hungry. She ate all the dwarfs' bread. She went to the bedroom and saw 7 small beds. Snow White pushed together the 7 beds and lied down. Then she fell fast asleep. The dwarves were back from work.
I think someone's here.
Over there, there's someone in the bedroom.
The dwarves were shocked to see Snow White sleeping in the bedroom.
Wow, she's pretty.
But why is this pretty person in our house?
Snow White woke up from the sound of the dwarves.
I slept well. Oh my! Who are you?
Who are you?
Snow White told the 7 dwarves what had happened. The dwarves told Snow White to live with them in the cabin. Snow White decided to live with the dwarves from that day on. Meanwhile, the queen, who thought she had gotten rid of Snow White, asked the magic mirror again. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Snow White is the fairest, my queen.
Snow White is gone. What are you talking about? Aren't you mistaken?
No, I am not. Snow White is living with the dwarfs in the forest.
The queen was very angry. The hunter tricked me? I am the fairest person in the world! It has to be me! Then I have to get rid of Snow White myself. The new queen opened a magic book and started making poisonous apples. Finally, a poison apple that stops your breathing with just 1 bite. Now, time for my transformation. The queen turned into an old apple vendor.
Perfect. Now we're going to get rid of Snow White.
Meanwhile, the dwarfs were in the woods getting ready to go to the mine.
Okay, we're off to the mine, princess.
Don't answer if a stranger comes and talks to you.
Okay, don't worry.
Snow White, left alone, grabbed a broom and mop. She thought it would be nice if the dwarves could eat delicious food in a clean house when they returned. It was when she was diligently cleaning and baking bread. An old woman with an apple basket came to the house. It was the queen who turned into an apple vendor.
Oh, miss, please buy an apple from this poor old lady.
I'm sorry. I'd love to, but I have no money.
I won't take any money, so go ahead and try one first. You can't imagine how sweet it is.
But I can't do that.
Just try it. If it's good, I'll come back later, and you can buy it then. Here, come on.
The new queen gave the poison apple to Snow White.
Well then, shall I?
As soon as Snow White took a bite of the apple, she collapsed.
Snow White is gone now.
The new queen let out a loud laugh and went back. The dwarfs came back from work and were shocked to see Snow White passed out. No matter how much they shook her, Snow White didn't move. The dwarfs laid Snow White in a glass coffin decorated with flowers and cried.
The princess is gone. It must have been the evil queen.
Right then, a prince from the neighboring country was passing by.
Why are you crying so sadly?
Snow White princess is gone.
Snow White princess?
The dwarfs told the prince everything that had happened. After hearing the story, the prince approached Snow White's coffin.
It's a shame that such an unfortunate thing happened to a kind princess.
The prince stroked the glass coffin where Snow White was lying for a while. Then he said to the dwarfs,
Can I take her with me?
The princess?
I want to take her to the country where I live and give her a beautiful funeral.
The dwarfs thought that since he is a prince, he could send Snow White off beautifully.
Please do that. Please bury the princess in a warm place in the sun.
The prince carefully hugged Snow White's still body. Then something strange happened. The apple stuck in the princess's throat flew out.
Oh, the poison apple stuck in Snow White's throat came out! Snow White, she's alive! Snow White, she's alive!
Snow White opened her eyes, and she stretched like she just woke up from sleeping. Snow White looked at the prince holding her. Who are you?
I am a prince that lives in a neighboring country, Snow White. Please marry me. I will protect you.
Snow White turned red at the prince's proposal. But she could see the sincerity in the radiant eyes of the prince. Snow White nodded her head.
Hooray! Kind Snow White is getting married!
Finally, Snow White left from the dwarfs' cabin to the prince's castle. The dwarves and all the forest animal friends saw them off.
Be happy with the prince, princess!
Thank you for staying with me. I will never forget everyone's kindness. Snow White and the prince said goodbye to the dwarves and animals and left the forest. She lived happily ever after in the neighboring country's castle. Meanwhile, what happened to the queen? The queen asked the mirror again, who was the fairest of them all? The mirror replied that it was Snow White who was married to a neighboring country's prince. The queen was so angry. She screamed and turned into an ugly old witch. And she never went back to her normal self again. The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there lived 3 little pigs. The first was a lazy sleepyhead. The second only liked to play the violin. The youngest was the only one to work hard to help their mom. One day, the mama pig called the 3 little pigs together and said, "Guys, now that you're all grown up, you're going to go out and build your own houses." The little pigs left the house as their mother instructed. Now they had to build their own houses. The first lazy pig wanted to build a house quickly and sleep.
Oh, this is such a bother. How do I build a house? Okay, let's build a house with straw. Then it'll be done quickly.
The first pig picked up fallen grass and straw and built a straw house.
Wow, this house is looking pretty good. It's been a while since I worked. I'm falling asleep. I'll sleep a little now.
The first pig went inside the straw house and started to sleep. The second pig had to build a house too.
Well, I have to hang the violin on the wall, so should I build it with wood?
Let's hurry up and build it and play the violin.
The second pig cut trees with a saw and started building a house. He built pillars out of wood and the roof with planks. It wasn't as fast as the first pig's, but the second pig's wood house was completed quickly.
The wood house is complete! My first brother built a house with straw, right? My house is much stronger than that. Now, let's have some fun!
The second pig started dancing excitedly while playing the violin. Meanwhile, the youngest pig was thinking about what kind of house to build.
Okay, let's build a strong house that won't collapse. To do that, I should lay it with bricks, right?
The youngest pig made an oven and started baking bricks. It took a long time to bake bricks. When the bricks were completed, the youngest pig solidified the ground and laid the bricks up one by one. Solid tiles were placed on the roof to prevent rain from leaking. And a fireplace and chimney were also built to keep warm in the winter. The youngest pig worked hard. A day passed, then 2 days, and then a month had passed. The youngest pig had not yet completed the brick house. The first and second pigs came to see the youngest pig.
What? You're still building a house?
Yeah. What's taking you so long to build a house?
It's because I am carefully laying the bricks. But once it's built, it won't collapse because it's strong.
The two brothers couldn't understand the youngest pig who was carefully building a house.
Oh, geez. It only took me a day to build a house.
I built it in 2 days.
Finally, the youngest pig's brick house was completed. The house was solid, spacious, and wonderful. It was cozy, too. Then one day, a wolf appeared in the woods.
I heard that there are little pigs building houses somewhere. Oh, I see a pig sleeping in a straw house over there.
The wolf slowly approached the first pig's straw house.
Slowly, slowly. He looks delicious. A plump pig.
The wolf decided to eat the first pig.
Open the door, little pig. I'm going to eat you.
The first pig, who was fast asleep, was startled by the sound of a wolf outside the door.
I'm in trouble! The wolf is here! I'll lock the door!
Do you think I can't eat you just because you locked the door?
The wolf huffed and puffed and blew the house down. So the straw house built by the first pig was blown away in the wind.
My house!
The first pig ran to the wood house where the second pig lived. The wolf followed the first pig and went to the wood house. The second and first pigs locked the door tightly. The wolf said loudly in front of the second pig's wood house.
Hurry and open the door. If you don't open it, I'll huff and puff and I'll blow this house down.
The first pig said worriedly to the second pig.
Brother, the wind he blows is incredibly strong. The straw house I made was blown away.
My house is made of wood, so it will be stronger than your house. You're confident. Okay then, watch what happens to this house.
The wolf inflated his chest and huffed and puffed. Thus, the wood house built by the second pig was quickly blown away by the wind.
You brats! Where are you going to run now?
Brother, come on! Let's go to the youngest!
Yeah.
The first and second pigs ran to the brick house where the youngest lived. The wolf followed them and went to the youngest pig's house. The first and second pigs arrived at the youngest pig's house and knocked on the door urgently.
Oh, brothers! What's going on?
The two brothers rushed into the youngest pig's house.
That punk huffed and puffed and blew my straw house down!
That punk huffed and puffed and blew my wood house down too!
Brothers, don't worry. My house is made of solid bricks and won't be blown down.
Open the door! If you don't, I'll huff and puff and blow this house down!
You bad wolf! Go ahead and try to blow it down. This house is different from a straw or wood house.
You're pretty confident. Okay then, watch what happens again this time!
The wolf took a deep breath in to blow down the youngest pig's brick house. The wolf inflated his chest and huffed and puffed. But the solid brick house didn't budge. The wolf was taken aback.
Huh? What? Why isn't the house flying away? Once again.
As expected, the youngest pig's brick house didn't budge. The first and second pigs were overjoyed and jumped for joy.
Hooray! The house didn't fly away!
Hooray! Our brother's house is sturdy!
What's this? Why isn't the house flying away?
The wolf wondered how he could eat the three little pigs.
It's built of solid bricks that won't budge with my blow. How can I catch and eat those little rats? Aha! There's a chimney on the roof.
The wolf saw the chimney on the roof and slapped his knee.
I'm going to go in through the chimney.
The wolf climbed down the chimney. The youngest saw the wolf and quickly set fire to the fireplace under the chimney and boiled water in a large pot. The wolf went down the chimney and fell into the large pot.
No! It's hot! It's hot!
The wolf burned his bottom on the boiling water and jumped in shock.
No! My bottom!
The confused wolf cried for help and ran deep into the forest. The three little pigs giggled and laughed at the wolf.
Brothers, my house is large and has a lot of rooms, so we can all live here together.
The first and second pigs nodded at the youngest pig's words.
Oh, yeah!
The three little pigs lived happily ever after in the brick house. The Wizard of Oz. Once upon a time, a kind and beautiful girl named Dorothy lived in a green pasture in Kansas with Uncle Henry, who was a farmer, Aunt Em, who was his wife, and a dog named Toto. Dorothy had a kind heart, and she always helped Uncle Henry and Aunt Em. But then one night, a frightening tornado hit the town.
Oh! Let's hide in the basement until the tornado passes!
Okay. Wait, Toto! Toto!
Suddenly, as Dorothy grabbed Toto and went into the house got caught in the tornado and flew up into the sky. After flying through the sky, the house dropped with a boom into a foreign place. Thankfully, Dorothy and Toto were safe and sound. When they opened the door and stepped outside, they were surrounded by dwarves whom they had never seen before.
Who are you?
Hooray! We're rescued!
Dorothy did not understand. It turned out that when Dorothy's house flew away in the tornado and landed in the forest, it crushed the Wicked Witch of the East. So the Witch of the North and the dwarves were celebrating. Thank you so much, Dorothy. In return for getting rid of the Wicked Witch of the East, Dorothy was gifted the Wicked Witch's beautiful silver shoes.
But I really need to return back to my home in Kansas. Do you know how I can go back home?
The Wizard of Oz in Emerald City can help you with that. There is nothing the Wizard of Oz does not know.
Oh, really?
Dorothy and Toto listened to the Witch of the North and headed to Emerald City in search of the Wizard of Oz. The road to Emerald City was a long journey. Dorothy and Toto walked together happily.
Help me!
Huh?
Oh, please, untie me!
A scarecrow made of straw and covered in colorful cloths was tied up to a wooden post in a cornfield. Dorothy helped the struggling scarecrow by untying him from the post.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Dorothy, and this is my friend Toto.
Nice to meet you, Dorothy. Where are you headed?
I'm on my way to find the Wizard of Oz.
A wizard? Then may I please join you?
Join me?
Yes, because I'm a scarecrow. My friends make fun of me, saying that my brain is made out of straw. So I want to wish for a wise brain.
Then let's go together. The wizard will surely grant your wish.
Hooray! I'm so excited!
And just like that, Dorothy, Toto, and the scarecrow headed towards Emerald City all together. Suddenly, the scarecrow bumped into the Tin Man, who was chopping wood in the forest.
I'm sorry. Are you all right?
The Tin Man was a strong woodman made out of strong iron who carried a huge axe to chop wood.
I'm okay.
What are you doing standing here?
I got rained on, so there's rust in my arms and legs, and I can't move. Would you please help me?
Dorothy and the scarecrow helped the Tin Man by putting oil all over his body.
Thanks so much. I can finally move. But where are you guys headed?
We're on our way to meet the Wizard of Oz.
Wow! A wizard? Then may I please join you guys?
Join us?
Well, I want to ask the wizard to give me a warm heart, just like yours.
Okay, come with us.
Dorothy and friends began to walk towards Emerald City once again, passing through the forest and passing through the field. They walked and walked, then suddenly, a scary lion appeared. Dorothy and friends all froze in place, filled with fear. Toto tried to protect his friends and barked at the lion. So, the lion leapt towards the small Toto.
Go away!
Ouch! Oh, it hurts! I'm so sorry!
The lion, flustered and scared, apologized to Dorothy and friends.
I was so hungry that I tried to steal food, but to be honest, I'm just a cowardly lion!
I see. We're on our way to ask the Wizard of Oz to grant our wishes. Do you want to join us?
Really? Yes, I would love to! I want to ask the wizard for courage!
So Dorothy and friends followed the yellow brick road, and they walked and walked. Then they came across a deep valley.
What do we do? We need to cross, but there's no road.
Yeah, I know. Why don't we knock down that tree and make a bridge?
A tree? I can take care of that.
The Tin Man chopped the tree with all his might to help his friends cross the valley. Then finally, the tree became a sturdy bridge for them to cross. Dorothy and friends carefully began to walk across the bridge. Then suddenly, a herd of scary creatures appeared out of nowhere. Dorothy and friends were scared and therefore unable to continue crossing the bridge. The lion was scared, but he wanted to protect his friends. So with all his might, he roared loudly at the creatures. Hearing the lion's roar, the creatures backed off in fear and ran away. Thanks to the lion, they were all able to cross the bridge safely, and they continued their journey to Emerald City. After a long journey of walking, they arrived at the Wizard of Oz's castle. The castle was filled with beautiful emerald lights, and inside there was the wizard, dressed in green clothes and a green hat.
Welcome to my castle. Now, I'm sure you came here to tell me your wishes, so go ahead, tell me. I wish for a wise brain.
I wish for a warm heart. Roar! I wish for courage.
You all have already received what you wish for.
What?
It was the Scarecrow's wise idea to make a bridge to cross the valley. It was the Tin Man's warm heart that worked hard to cut down the tree and make the bridge. And it was the lion's courage that faced the creatures to protect his friends.
Wizard, my wish is to return home to Kansas. Please, grant my wish.
Please grant our wishes.
All right, then. If you guys can work together and get rid of the Wicked Witch of the West, I will grant your wishes.
The Wicked Witch of the West?
Dorothy and friends went on a mission to get rid of the Wicked Witch of the West. She was a witch who used all sorts of spells and magic.
I'm exhausted.
Where can the witch be?
Finally, the Witch of the West has appeared.
How dare you come to get rid of me? I'll punish you! Attack!
With the witch's command, her henchmen began to attack Dorothy's friends. The Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, and Toto stood no chance against the henchmen.
No, my friends!
What beautiful shoes you have! Hand over those shoes now!
Discovering a bucket of water, Dorothy grabbed the bucket and threw water all over the witch.
No! Water makes me melt!
Instantly, the witch melted away, and her henchmen vanished into thin air.
Hooray! We got rid of the witch!
Now the wizard will grant our wishes.
After successfully getting rid of the Witch of the West, Dorothy and friends went back to the Wizard of Oz.
Welcome back! And great job!
Wizard, now please grant our wishes. Please.
All right, I will grant your wishes. Abracadabra! Abracadabra! Wish come true. Yeah!
The wizard gave the scarecrow a brain made out of sawdust.
I feel like I'm getting smarter.
And he gave the Tin Man a heart made out of
I
cloth.
think I can hear my heart beating.
And he gave the lion a special juice that gives him courage.
It tastes like grape juice. Hey, I feel more courageous. Roar!
Wow, everyone's wishes came true. Awesome! Wizard, please grant my wish too.
Dorothy, your wish will be granted by those silver shoes you are wearing.
My silver shoes?
Those are magical shoes that you can take anywhere in the world. Try clicking your heels 3 times.
3 times? Like this?
As soon as Dorothy clicked her heels 3 times, she began to float high up into the sky.
Whoa! I'm flying!
Have a safe trip, Dorothy!
Thank you, guys! Goodbye!
Meanwhile, at Dorothy's house in Kansas, Uncle Henry and Aunt Em missed Dorothy dearly and waited for her to return. Then Dorothy flew down from the sky and landed at her house.
Uncle Henry! Aunt Em! It's me, Dorothy!
At long last, Dorothy returned home safe and sound. And Dorothy, along with Uncle Henry, Aunt Em, and her dog Toto, lived happily ever after for a long, long time.